But I also said, 2 women, book a party with me now or see me in Las Vegas later, which is very arrogant. But I saw it, Amy. I thought, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So then Chuck Morgan sells his business, goes to work for a big corporation that sends us to San Antonio, Texas. I started doing open mic in San Antonio, and then I drove back and forth with 3 babies by then, 3 little babies. They were 3, 5, and 7 by the time I got to Texas. And I would go to Austin, Texas, where it was one of the best comedy clubs. Dennis Miller's brother, Rich Miller, owned that club. And I got up at Chick Stick, they called it. I'd look back on it, and Comedy Central did not want me. Nobody, I didn't have any edge to me. I had an unfortunate bob. I had capris on that had birds on them. And I was talking about who doo-dooed on a T-ball field, which is still some of my best material. But I was doing that with little children, honey, and did that in Texas for about 3 years. And then, got on a little tour with 2 other female comedians. We schlepped around, and, people probably begged our agent begged people to take us. But anyway, it gave me the seasoning.
Yeah.
But I always, the whole time, I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. And I just look back on it, and I've said to people that I've gotten to meet from Saturday Night Live, Fred Armisen, who is from heaven. And I did a movie with Will Ferrell, and he said to tell you hello. And I told him when my show was coming out and my new Netflix special, and he said, "Oh, that's great. I'm too busy. I won't be watching this." It's been a lot, Amy.
Chuck
Morgan and I are exact opposite, and I find that funny. I don't know if it works that well together. We've made it. We had a bunch of kids together, and he takes care of the checkbook because I can't deal with that. But Chuck Morgan's very introverted. I'm extroverted. I've had to talk for him for years. But he's social. He wants to be with people. But he's a fly on the wall. He likes things organized. I remember saying to him, I know I've got something, Chuck, I can make it. Let's sell everything and I'll cook off a hot plate. And he went, "Are you crazy? We need health insurance." I guess it's a good thing he, kept me down. Because I did get to raise these little children. And then this happens to me in my late 50s, and I don't think I'll get hooked on dope. I mean, I'm not kidding. If this had happened to me at 20, I would be on dope, I think.
Yeah,
because this is so much pressure. And he always supported me. And he would take care of these babies. Right? Yes, and honey, I would pass them off in a minivan to him and go get on stage. He always supported me in all of it. He just said, he's not a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. Yeah. And he said, they need health insurance. He was right. He has always had a big job, executive at a company. Yeah. Made a wonderful living for us. I didn't have to take horrible gigs where I had to drive 300 miles for $50 and sleep in my car.
Right.
So it was because of Chuck Morgan that really it all worked out the best way it could. It really did. But yes, Chuck Morgan, I've been traveling with him. I'm going Tampa today to be with him, and I will have to hold his mixed nuts. He will say, "Hold this. Do you have any toothpaste?" I'm constantly having to tend to him like I would a child. I've always said my next husband's going to be a gay man, and we're going to look for fabric together, and he'll leave me alone, and I'll leave him alone. I mean, would that not be I've got so many gay friends, men, that I'm in love with. Yeah. That one says to me all the time, "Would it kill you to put some height in your hair, Leanne?" And he's always getting behind me and giving me a back comb. But I love that. And Chuck Morgan loves the gay men. They'll tend to Chuck and go, "Here, Chuck, here's a cocktail and some nice chicken salad on a nice cracker." And Chuck, but Chuck Morgan says to me all the time, I'll retire from my job. He's still working for that big company, and I'll just come with you. And I'm like, no. Because, I can't be putting on Spanx while he's eating nuts and grabbing my breast, and I've got to get my comedy mind. I have to take a comedy nap. Yes. Even if I don't go to sleep, I've got to shut my eyes. Get right. Because he needs me to tend to him, and somebody's got to tend to me. A baby child. Okay. She's my professional makeup artist, and I say caregiver, and she said, "I didn't sign up for that." But she is still strong and still has grip in her hands. I don't have any grip when I went through menopause. You're never going to eat a pickle again. I know. I ordered all those things from Amazon that grips, that you ever have one of those grip things, and then just hit it with a butter knife before you open open it, but she tends to me. But she's about to move to New York with my middle child, my other daughter, Maggie 27 and 29. And they're going to miss these grandbabies. I've got 2 grandbabies that live in Knoxville. They're like 20 minutes from me. Right. 2 grandsons, a redhead and a white-headed one. Oh, it's precious. I knew he'd be a sweet daddy, but he's an old soul. You know, I talk about him all the time, like played the banjo in middle school after football practice, had a garden, still has a garden. These babies eat out of that garden. And I think he took after my people, farming people. He likes to grow things and loves history. He grows everything, gardens, and my little mama always had a garden and put up and canned, and we killed our own beef. No. Now I'm, kind of busy. Lucille, now, Mama doesn't can anymore, but we'll go to her house and we'll all can, just like, like down the line. People bring bushel of corn. When I say rural, I mean, I'm from farming, rural people. We're canning that day, sealing it up, chopping everything. She makes a vegetable soup, a homemade vegetable soup with tomato juice that you would slap somebody over. Unbelievable. I do like to cook. Yeah. I do. And I fed all these children. Well, I was doing comedy on the weekends, but I was tending to them and cooking. And I've always loved that. And, being a mama. My gosh, Amy. I go on stage and they throw their purse in the air. I didn't even say anything. And at first it messed with my head when I got my first big panty tour is what I called it, because I love a big panty. And they would just mwah, mwah at me. And I think it's because they felt ignored and I was like the only person speaking to them. And it made me feel I should have gone into therapy because I thought I need to go home with every one of them and clean their house and vacuum out their car because they were so precious to me. But this is what they say to me. They go, oh, my gosh, that is my baby child. I'm married to Chuck Morgan. This is Chuck. This is my middle child. Yes, they all say that to me. I know that's what it was. I do. And I feel like on Netflix, my special, and I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. I couldn't believe that Netflix was going to give me. I have one other special that somebody put on Hulu. I don't even know who. And I have a very unfortunate hair color in it because it is so awful. It's based on my comedy, but not my life, because we thought that would be weird. But let me tell you that the premise is my husband walks off and leaves me after 30-something years of marriage. And now I'm sitting here, what in the world am I going to do? And I cannot tell you how many fans said, Chuck Morgan doesn't deserve you. I knew this would happen. He sucks. He's kept you down long enough. He's jealous. And I was like, whoa, no, that's not what's happening. My own little daddy got a call from one of his friends who was in his 90s and said, I'm so sorry that they're going to, and I said, Daddy. Yeah. And I go, Daddy, Beverly Hillbillies isn't true either. This is not true. But it is based on my comedy and my sensibility. Mm-hmm. So when Chuck Lorre came to me and sat on my back porch and held my grandbaby and said, will you do this with me? I was like, what?